Hey there, welcome to the channel. I was really hoping that I was going to get a really cool gouache painting out to you guys this week, but it turns out that my experiment was a failure. I tried to do a gouache painting on gesso board and it turns out that's not a good idea. That doesn't really work. The gouache doesn't really have any good surface to kind of sink into or stick to, so every time that I would try and put a new color on top or try to blend, it just reactivated the layer below and just didn't work. Everything was lifting up and it just really doesn't work. So I ended up having to just wipe that away and trash that idea. I will be going back to it either using acrylic on the gesso board or using gouache on watercolor paper. So instead, I thought it would be interesting to go through my Art 1 sketchbook from high school. This is from well over 30 years ago. And just kind of look through this and see what I was doing back then and see where I was in my art journey. So let's go ahead and get right to that. All right, I'm going to sit you guys right here, right next to me so that we can flip through these together. I decided to go ahead and flip it up on here so that it's really easy to see and really easy for me to film. So this was from 1990 to 1991. This was in my freshman year of high school. And yes, that is telling you how old I am, but oh well. Wow, apparently a pile of shoes. This sketchbook has seen better days. Do not judge me. This was a hat that someone in my household had and I decided to draw it. I definitely would never have bought that hat for myself, and I do not condone anything that it says, but it is just showing what I was drawing. This appears to be a pile of clothes. It goes this way. You can kind of tell that this is like the opening to the shirt here or something. Other than that, I can't really tell what it is either. Pencil sharpener. Kind of wonky. Shading's not great. This was looks like maybe my high school jacket. A pile of rope, a terrible pillow, like barely any shading. There's no value range there whatsoever. This was so good, I had to label it. It's a piece of wood. I do remember this piece of wood. It was interesting looking. I did not capture it. Nice carrot. That's actually not too bad. Again, not much value range. You're not going to see much value range in here. I just used like a regular pencil. Oh, I say that and now you actually get a little value range here. This is an apple. I marked some of these as do not grade, but my teacher still graded them. This is a glass of water with like really wonky perspective. You can see up here like that is way too kind of like tilted down as compared with the bottom of the glass here. So I was obviously not paying that close attention to what I was looking at. Apparently someone with their eyes closed, which at first I didn't realize what this was. I'm like, oh my gosh, there's no pupils. No, the eyes are closed. Those are the eyelashes down there, obviously. A foot. That's not too bad. Not a lot of detail. A record, for those of you who don't know, that is a way to play music that was much popular in like the 70s. This was the view outside of my bedroom window. And this mirror hung in my mom's house, and this is basically just looking up at that mirror and drawing what I saw in there. I do not know what the prompt was, but apparently a girl getting offered a joint. Look at those hands. They're so small. This is a casket. I am not sure why I drew that at that point. I know my father died, but it was before that, so I'm not sure what was going on there. I don't know. It says up here, memo to Mr. Bush. Wow. I have no words. No words. A guitar. I'm not even sure what I was looking at because we didn't have any guitars in the house. And we didn't have the internet, so I'm not sure where I got a picture of a guitar. That's not too bad. In the doghouse, again, look at these tiny hands. I know I didn't know how to draw hands. And look at, at first I thought it was a pig nose. Just the little marks of the nostrils. That's hilarious. The doghouse is pretty good though. Apparently I was drawing my homework. I'm not sure why you can see the reflection of the person outside of the eyeball. I think I was going for a reflection on the eye, but I for some reason continued it onto their skin, which is a little bit weird and creepy. Well, this is the house that I grew up in. This is my mom's house. It's actually not too bad. Oh yeah, so this, I believe, is a picture of the sugar beet factory that was in the town that I grew up in. We processed sugar beets into sugar. This was a little crystal hummingbird that my mom always had on the Christmas tree. I think I actually might have that hummingbird somewhere. I'm not sure. I had a big stuffed orangutan. I don't know where I got it, but he was in my bedroom and apparently I decided to draw him. And this was my bedroom. This is like a whole bunch of stuffed animals and Garfields and just random stuff. Yep, my dressers. I think I got this guy at Cedar Point. He was purple, if I remember right. Yeah, little monkey thing. Drawingception. Drawing a drawing of people drawing the drawing. More homework. This is a weird little doll that I don't remember where I got it from, but all of these were kind of braided bits of fabric. And so she was like all braided and then had these little flowers that were stuck to her. And she just kind of sat in my room. It wasn't anything that I necessarily wanted. It was just a gift to me at some point, and she stayed in my room. Obviously, I didn't try very hard. I think I needed a sketch, and so I just quickly came up with something and put it on there and turned it in. That happens sometimes. That's not too bad. A crumpled up can of Pepsi. This is the view across the road from where I grew up. There was a big field and a bunch of trees back there. I think we had a ceramic eagle. My mom did ceramics, so we had random ceramics around the house, and I think this guy lived there. I kind of vaguely remember him. Apparently there's a little cartoon here. Nurse, I'm having stomach pains. Hurry. I'm coming. I've got the Alka-Seltzer. With absolutely just bad drawings. Just not good. Just not good. President of the United States. Me. And there's my orangutan again. If if I remember, yeah, I had him like hung up on the wall. I don't remember how, like there was this bag or something, a backpack bag or something that I had him stuffed into. He had a scarf around him and then he was kind of hung up on the wall. So that's how he lived in my room. More homework. Obviously, I did a lot of homework. And that is about the tiniest pencil ever. Teeny tiny little guy. Person reading a book. Not sure who that is. I don't know if that was supposed to be my mom. I didn't see her reading books very often, but I think I might have used her as the reference. Looking inside a purse or a backpack and some juicy fruit in there. Not very good. And the teacher knew I could do better. We had to do a cutaway of something, so this is a cutaway of a telephone. I, again, did not try very hard. You can tell by the grade. 5 was the best. So is one of my friends in high school. I'm pretty sure he was actually reading this magazine or newspaper here. And yeah, his mouth is way too low. But yeah, I tried. Another kid I went to high school with, he was in my art class. Bowl of spaghetti. I just did not really go for really dark shadows. Well, it looks like one of the teachers. Not a very good portrait. Looks like just playing with colored pencil and doing something. A fish. I assume that my teacher actually wrote this. What is that? This is looking in the back seat of the car. This is the little armrest that pulls down in the back seat that, you know, usually has a cup holder and stuff in there. It's a close-up of that. So, why that's what I drew? I probably was like, oh shoot, I gotta do my sketchbook, and that was right there, so I drew that. Yeah, I was just trying a different style of drawing. This is kind of just weird straight lines. I don't remember if we were learning about like cubism or something like that, so I was just giving that a try. It's kind of weird little Cabbage Patch doll. Oh, this one's upside down. That's actually not too bad. A bunch of dandelions. That's pretty good. If the lines were darker, it would be better. Tiger. We were the tigers, so I drew tiger. It's actually not too bad. A little bit wide in the face, but not too bad. A tulip. Buds on a tree. Another teacher. Terrible, terrible. Another teacher. Again, terrible. That's my mom, I believe. Doesn't really look like her, but I think that's who that's supposed to be. Not very good. My brother. Again, not very good. Wasn't great at portraits. At least, like, where things are on the face makes sense. Just, I needed to go further with it, I think. And that looks like it for the first year. Well, that was certainly a blast from the past for me. I remember drawing some of those sketches in there, and some of them I don't have any memory of whatsoever. I think that it was really interesting to see that I was struggling with pushing contrast on things, where some of the sketches did have a lot of contrast, a lot of them had very little contrast. And from what I have seen and heard, that is a very common problem that artists have, is really pushing that contrast and having well-defined darks, mids, and lights. And I know that that is something that I am still working on to this day, and I will probably work on for the rest of my artistic life. It's just a thing The other thing that I was really surprised to see in there was the amount of times that I was working from imagination more than from like reference or something in front of me, because I always thought of myself as more of a copy artist or a reference artist. I know that when I started doing art back a couple of years ago, there was a big resistance there. I didn't want to work from imagination because in my head I was really bad at it and I couldn't do it. Like that was something that I was just not able to do in my head. I am getting past that now, but it was kind of this weird block that I had. But apparently at one point in my life I didn't really have that block as much. I just went ahead and did it and didn't really care that it wasn't as successful. So that was kind of neat to see. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed looking through that sketchbook. I am going to try and get a video out to you in 2 weeks of that dragon eye painting, whether it is going to be gouache on watercolor paper or acrylic on the gesso board. I haven't decided yet, but that is the next video that I am planning on making. I hope you guys had fun. If you did, please give it a like and a subscribe. Feel free to leave comments below, and I will see you again in a couple weeks. Bye.